Hi guys, welcome to Challenge the Road. I haven't slept because I thought I was going to do a video on the best 911 GT3 to buy and to own, the best value, and I couldn't pick one, so I've had to change the video a little bit. I thought what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do maybe the top 3 because there's so many GT3s, GT3 RSs, Speedsters, all these different models, which I've driven quite a few of them over the years, not all of them, which is great because that leaves cars for me in the future to potentially own. But I just wanted to give you my feedback on it, on 997, 991 and 992. And these cars, what an era we're in now. I wouldn't believe it sort of 30 years ago that we'd be able to buy cars at this sort of money that are as fast as a cup car. Impossible. And if you've seen my previous videos, I love the 992 GT3 RS. It's an amazing car. Right, let's get on with 997. Let's go straight in at 997. So there was an original GT3, which is here. I'm using piston heads. A bit of a combination tonight. I'm going to use this and I'm going to use Auto Trader. I really like the original GT3 997. This would be like the Dot 1. I think it's a really, really nice car. Very, very good lines. I like the back spoiler. Very, very nice. That is definitely a car I think is great value. So on from there, they made the Dot 2. I just think it's a little bit more fussy. We go into that. If we find a Dot 2 and we just sort of whiz round them. So a Dot 2 here, again, just little updates, but I just think that the original one was really, really nice. So I don't think you can go wrong with Dot 1 or Dot 2. I've seen them on collecting cars. I think one just went for 103,000 plus fees, so 110. They are rising. They are going up, and I can see why, because it's just a great road car. Then you have to think, well, if you're going to go on the track a bit more, you probably want to look at an RS, and you've got the 997.2 RS. We put one up here. This is POA. Let's find a better one than that. Now, I've been looking at these cars for a long time. There's a 700 mile one. Let's go for this one. So 13,000 miles. I love this colour. I like this car. Tom at TGE's got one. I'd like to drive it at some point. I have driven the Dot 1 RS on track. I really like that. It drove really well. This is like the final edition with the 3.8 apart from the 4 litre, which we come to. They have risen a lot. I was looking at buying in at say 120, 130, but they just keep going up. And I really, really, really like that car. Really like that car. Where's it going to go? Because is it value? Because it's already gone up. Is it going to go up another 100? Maybe. So let's see what the 4 litre prices are. Now these have been going up again. So 4 litre prices have been going up. We'll find one here. Here we go. So Gen 2, 500,000. The list price of this car in 2011 was 135,000. It's up at 500,000. These have been continually growing in value, and will they get to the point where, you know, they become unobtainable? Are they going to go to £1 million? I don't know, maybe, but we'll talk about value a lot more in this video, because the thing is with Porsche, every time they seem to do a new GT3, it seems to be better than the old one, and that really comes true at the end of this video when I talk about ST and the new GT3. So we're now looking at a range of 84k to 500k in 997. It is difficult to pick one. Because I'm going to pick 3 cars tonight, I think I'm going to go for the original 997, the one we saw at the start. I just think this is just a really good car. I know it's got some miles on, 415 horsepower. I think it'd be terrific on the road. Let's have a look at this one. Lovely seats. I think that's going to be one of my picks. I'm going to just go with a normal GT3 997. There's nothing normal about GT3. 85k. I think that's a lot of value, and I think there's going to be, you know, a different RS in my picks. So that's 997. Let's move to 991. So 991's where it gets really, really interesting, and I've been fortunate enough to have quite a few of the models in the 991 GT3. And we just go through them sort of, you know, values and also the models. So you had an original 991 at a 3.8 engine. They had a lot of engine problems with that car, and they gave the engine in the end a 10-year warranty. But a lot of them are outside of that warranty now. I think you can still add the warranty on, but that's not the car in this range. The car's the 4 litre, which was the .2. So the 4 litre come out. Also, when they had the 3.8, they said no more manuals, you know, we're going to stick with PDK, or that's what we thought they said. So they launched a car called a 911R, which is an amazing car. We're going to go to the values of them. Let's just go back and find a 911R. So a 911R. Now, when they also were coming out, I've got some stuff here actually. Let's just have a look. So a 911R, when originally come out, you see here, breaks the record, 1.1 million at auction. I think these went up to about 850,000. They were 130 new. They went to 850. That is just crazy. And I really, really like this car. I like the 911R, but it has a problem, because we'll go on to that with the 991 range, and that'll sort of help you get a bit of a feeling of how I'm thinking about 992. So 991 went to the .2, the 4 litre. I had a 4 litre in this model. It had a spoiler. They also done a Touring. The Touring is the one to have, I think. I'm trying to pick it already, aren't I? But the Touring was a fantastic car, and there's hardly any made in the UK. I think 56. And one I've actually driven is actually on here for sale. It was up at VVS for sale, silver car. We'll try and find, oh, here it is. So here's the car here. So silver car. This has now been upgraded a lot by Manti. I think the retail of this car was 111. It sold about 180. It's up for 200, but it's had £30,000 of Manti racing updates. But I like GT Silver in that. I think the Touring is a great car. And we'll go on to the next one from here. So we had the Touring. We spoke about 911Rs. Now, can we find one for sale? Because they are rare. There's one here, left-hand drive, 350,000. Let's see if we can find a right-hand drive one. I hate all these POA ads that don't exist. It annoys me on these sites. So we'll go through. So we're looking at around 350 for a 911R. Would I have a 911R? We look at some of the other 991s first. So we have got Speedsters. We go into them as well. So the 911 had loads of range. Let's just find the Speedster in here. We've got it on here. Here we go. Here we go, Speedster. So we've got the Speedster as well. So we've got the .2, it's got the one with the spoiler, it's got the Touring, it's got the Speedster, and you know about all these models that are out there in 991. So we've got to think, well, the Speedster, I really like this when this come out. And this was the one I almost got scammed on. I don't know if you remember that video, I put a link to it, but I almost got scammed on these cars because I wanted one so much, and they were like way over list. They were like 300, 350. I really like them. But again, is it the one? Because they're quite high at the moment. They're around 270. Is that too high for the car? Would I prefer to have a Touring that's less? And then that goes back to the 911R, because if I have the R, I've got to think, well, is the Touring the better car? Now, when you read a lot of the stuff, and I've driven the Touring as well, but haven't driven the R, they say the Touring's better to drive probably than the R. So you think, well, why do I want to pay 150,000 more for an R when I can have a Touring? Oh, this is getting difficult. So it's a tough one, isn't it, to think what you're going to go for. So what am I going to do? What am I going to go for? Let's just go back here. Now in Auto Trader as well, if you want to find Speedsters, you just search under 991, slightly different. You won't find it under GT3, but if we go 991 GT3, I don't know, because we've still got to go through the RS. Okay, so let's go to the RS. So the 991 RS, I had that car myself. I had one in purple because of Chris Harris's video, and I ordered it in GT Silver, and then I changed my mind to go for Mr. Purple in the .1. We'll find one here. They look a lot of value. So let's have a look. 4,000 mile car, Mr. Purple, 145. So should I have that instead of the Touring and instead of the R? Because it can't be 200,000 less than the R. But the R's cool. Oh, this is why I didn't sleep last night. So anyway, then they done a .2, which we own today, which is a YSAC car. We'll find that on here. These have come down a bit. They were at 250. They're just under 200 now. Let's find one. Premier GT, I got one here, 195. It's a great road and track car. I know because we got one. I do really, really like that car, but would it be my 991? So you see this range is getting bigger and bigger. So we've gone from 997 to 991. Now we've got loads of GT3s. And it just makes me think, are these cars going to hold their value? Especially when we go to 992. Oh, I don't know. So pick in one then. You know what? I'm going to go 911R. Only because there's not that many made. I think it was 991 made. I'm going to go for it in black. I think there is one in here that I've seen. JZM. I think is at JZM. I think that's the one I would go for if money was no object, and I don't know. Don't think they're going to lose much more money. So here's the car here, but it's left-hand drive. But there is a right-hand drive. One of 4 right-hand drives in black. That's how rare they are. Jeremy Cottingham, blue chip cars. This is the car. That's got ceramics. I think that's the car. I think that's the one. Okay, so we've got a normal 997 and we've got a normal 911R, which is not normal, but it hasn't got a big wing, so I've gone for 2. Well, one's got a spoiler in the 997. Okay, they're all the 991. So I've picked the normal GT3 and we've picked an R, so we have to have something racier in the 992. Let's head to 992. It's getting interesting, isn't it? I've got one more car to go. So 992, I've got the 992 GT3 RS. I love that car, but I haven't actually driven the standard car or the Touring. But they look a huge amount of value. And every time Porsche seem to create a GT3, it seems to be better. Now, this is the .1 because the .2 is being launched. And I think the .2 is going to have an effect on some of the prices, but we don't know how many they're going to make. But if we look at prices on a .2, we are going to be looking at around 145,000. There's a few on collecting cars at the moment. Let's have a look here. 144, 144, 148. So that's the value there. We'll have a look at, let's have a look at Touring. So Touring is here, GT3 Touring, down in the 150s. There's one on collecting cars I'm looking at the moment. I think these are where maybe you should be coming in, but the .2 is coming out. But the .2, the big problem with that is that when I spec them, they're 200,000. So I think these are holding 992 prices at the moment, but they're not out on the road yet. So then we go to special editions in 992, which again is quite a lot. And then I think there's some new ones even coming out, some more coming along. So we've got the 911 GT3 RS, we've got the Touring, and we've got the ST. We'll go to ST first. Now the ST is a special edition, 1963 made, celebration to Porsche. They are up at about 400k. I see these dropping off. These were about 500, and I'll give you my reasoning behind that. So this is a 379, very low mileage car. Now, the new .2 one has got all these parts and it's 200k and it's got rear seats. So is it worth 180,000 more? Probably not. And normally when they do the .2, they don't make that many in production. We've already seen that in the 991. I see these dropping under 300 and fairly sharpish. I think these have come out, they go, be done. And I know everyone's saying this is the best one, this is the best one, the ST. Look at the time. I'll put it up now. 6:56 time with a manual. That's incredible. At Nürburgring, that's incredible time. So it's beating an ST. and it's got rear seats, which a lot of people wanted. I don't think this has rear seats. I think you can have a roll cage in this and different bits, but so I see them dropping down. So I've still got to think, what am I going to choose? And I think you know what I'm going to choose, but we're going to go to RS's because I just think it's an unbelievable car. But I probably paid too high a price. I know that. It was my 50th birthday present. The car was delayed, and I think I paid the right price at the time. But these are dropping down. So we're looking probably around the 270 mark now for a car, 280. I think it's a stunning car. So if you think about the collection of what we're trying to do now, so I've got a 997 manual, just standard .1, really happy on the road, a 911R, which I haven't driven, I really want to drive. And then I've gone for the GT3 RS in the spec I've got, because I think it's just a mega car. I can take it on track, I can take it out for a Sunday drive. Now there is no boot space in this, so if I'm going to go further, I'm going to take the R, I'm going to take the 997. But what I'm really interested in is, what would you pick? So I'll get the value of all these cars, I'll put it in the description, and we'll say, so how much have we spent on these cars? Actually, I've got a calculator here, and I like this calculator. So 84 plus 350 plus 270, so 700,000. That seems a lot, doesn't it? 700,000. I got myself 3 Porsches. Seems like a lot. I thought it'd be less than that. Anyway, what 3 Porsches they are. So I'll put one up, but in the comments, could you put the 3 Porsches you would pick? It's taken me a long time to think about this. I've watched lots of videos on it. There's Supercar Driver. I watched some videos from JM on cars. Obviously, I've got some of them myself, so I don't need to check all of them. But yeah, I hope you enjoy these videos on values. I'll be interested if you are thinking of getting a 911 GT3. Is there a better time? Are they going to go down a bit more? Maybe. When's this .2 coming out? When are we going to go to electric, hybrid? Is there a .2 GT3 RS? I'm not so sure. So please like, share, subscribe. Hope you enjoy these videos, and I'll see you again soon.